We all want more freedom in our lives. We want to overcome our own doubts and our own fears and the restrictions that hold us back from living and experiencing really rich, juicy, wealthy lives. None of us want to be controlled or locked in chains of anxiety, dependent on others for our survival, or trapped in jobs we hate or relationships that no longer serve us because we believe there's no other way. None of us want to watch our life passing by and never get to do the things we dream of doing because we believe we can't afford it. And none of us want to live with that fear of ending up financially destitute and not even being able to survive, let alone thrive. We want to live and experience the greatest versions of our lives, free to experience our dreams and free of limitations and restrictions caused by financial disempowerment. We want to experience the ultimate freedom of choice, free to choose what we do, who we do it with, where we do it, and why we do it. The freedom to work or not to work, freedom to contribute more, freedom to travel and have amazing life experiences, and freedom just to spend more time with those we love. Ultimately, freedom to live fully expressed lives. But to do this, we need to master a vital ingredient, this ingredient called money, and learn how to get it working hard for us. I'm Ann Wilson, author of the Hay House published book, The Wealth Chef, and founder of Financial Freedom University. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can create your own financial freedom and give yourself that ultimate choice, no matter what your age or your current financial situation. And I'm also going to share with you why, being physically attacked at gunpoint and lying on the ground fearing for my life as my attacker lunged over me, I decided to make a training program for you and give it to you for free. It was a Thursday evening, and the Wealth Chef book had just been launched in South Africa. And I decided to move back to South Africa, my birth home, but also the place where my mission to help as many people free themselves from the chains of financial illiteracy had really formed. And I'd been living in Paris for quite a few years at the time, and I absolutely loved being there, but I really felt drawn to come back to my soul home. And it coincided with this book launch, which was just absolutely fantastic because I got to go and meet thousands of my fellow South Africans all over this beautiful country, from Cape Town to Bloemfontein, from Durban to Johannesburg. I was meeting with people in crowds of 500 to 5 in bookshops, at speaking gigs, on television, on radio. And it was really such an affirmation of how important this message is, how important it is that we learn about this thing called money. Because as I know from my own story, we're just not taught this stuff in school. And as people shared with me how my teaching and the book was transforming their life, it was just such a joyous reunion coming home. And the specific night, I'd been speaking at a bookshop in an area called Pretoria, and my publishers had a driver taking me to and from the various speaking gigs. And as I came home that evening, my soul and heart was just absolutely filled to bursting, because at that specific gig, this woman had come up to me with this beautiful bouquet of proteas and just shared to me how learning about money, how gaining the confidence about managing her money day to day, getting herself free of debt, starting investing, had just transformed her whole sense of being for herself, and how she could now get out and relate in the world, and her relationships with her children and her life and her job. And it was just absolutely beautiful. And I was just feeling so good as we drove up the driveway of the place I was staying at the time. And there was this long driveway, and I opened the gate with this remote, and I'm very conscious of security, being in South Africa, and jumped out the car. And as the driver turned the car around, I stood there waiting to close the gate behind me, or behind the car, as he drove out, clutching my proteas, just really feeling connected to the world and my mission, and just how amazingly rich this world is. And as I was standing there, this figure emerged from behind this bush. And initially I thought maybe it was somebody from the house I was staying at playing a joke on me. And then I quickly realized that no, this wasn't the case at all, because this person had a motorbike helmet on their head, and in the shadow I could see this gun. And I realized that in a heartbeat that actually I was being attacked. And how quickly life can shift and change. And initially I went into absolute, survival mode of just going, not knowing quite how I'd react. And as I stepped back trying to get away from this person in my high heels, I fell over backwards and this attacker came over me. But in that nanosecond, everything slowed right down. And firstly, I realized that life is so worth living. There is so much to live for. And there was so much more that I still wanted to do and experience. Just like, I'm sure there is so much more for you to live and experience and do. And it was this huge affirmation of saying yes to life. And then secondly, just something in me knew that I believed that this guy actually wasn't going to kill me or hurt me. And that I needed to fight. I needed to fight for the life that I wanted. And in that moment, I still clutching my Proteas, which I never let go of once through all of this. I used those high heels and I fought for what I wanted. I said yes to my life and I just kicked him off basically and screamed my lungs out. And as alarms started going off and lights started coming on, this guy ran down the driveway and I was fine. A few batters and scrapes. But why am I sharing you this story? Because once my heart rate came down a bit and I had a stiff whiskey to just calm me down, I got to really think about this experience and this absolute contrast of what I'd experienced in such a short period of time, an incredible high, and people saying yes to their lives and believing possibility, to this experience of being attacked. And I thought about you. And I thought about how that guy believed he had no other option to experience any kind of financial well-being or even get any money in his life other than attacking somebody, about taking. And I knew in that moment that this is why I was here. This is why this is so important to me. This is why I choose to get up and teach as many people as possible of how to break themselves free from these chains. Because I truly believe if we're taught another way, if we're taught how to handle money, how to bring it into our lives in an empowered way, each and every one of us can step into the world of abundance and scarcity, not believing that the only way we can have is for somebody else not to have. That is how we make the world a better place. And that is where my mission just became even deeper in me. And why I decided, you know what? I am determined to help as many people achieve this. I want to get this into millions of people's hands, the information that's in the Wealth Chef book that I teach. And so in that moment, I decided to make a free online program to teach you the foundations, the fundamentals of how to master money, the tools you need, the mindset, the recipes, how to manage your money day to day, how to get out of debt, how to start investing and getting money growing for you, how to have conversations with those you love, and how ultimately to believe that a wealthy life is absolutely possible for you, and how you get out claiming it and living it. And in a way that is great for you, great for your family, your community, and for the world we live in. And so right now, go below this video and put your details in, your name and email address, and you're going to get access to a great 4-week Wealth Kickstarter program, which is going to boost and start your wealthy life journey for you. And remember what they say when you fly an airplane, you've got to put on your own oxygen mask first. And this is so important in your money journey. You need to be the change you want to see. So it's got to start with you learning about this stuff. And as you're doing that, then share it with others. Because after all, you want to be on this great wealthy life journey with those you love. So then as soon as you've started this, that you've got your program for you, share it with those you love. Send this link in email, share it on social media. Let's together make this world a better place. Let's get these ripples going out of financial well-being. And let's give people a new set of choices about the life that they are going to be living. And so that they can also experience the highest version of themselves. Because I know in the depths of my heart that that man doesn't want to be doing what he believes he has to do. And how many other people might not be attacking people physically, but maybe really living fearful lives, as they trapped in relationships, trapped in jobs, or just playing small because they believe there's no other way. So I know together we can make this happen. We can create a whole revolutionary wave of financial liberation. So go there, get your free program, join me on that, share it with as many people as possible, and let's make this world a wealthier place.